Hello, this is a quick update video on the LCD mod, the IPS mod for the original DMG, the original Game Boy, and I was rather happy with the whole display mod in the last video. However, a few issues have appeared. First of all, the power issues were definitely with the power supply board of the DMG, which is prone to fail. So I ordered a replacement from Retro6 or their German distributors, and now the thing turns on basically all the time. The batteries are currently running low because I've been playing this thing quite a lot. But one issue also arose, and I'm not sure why. It seems the IPS display is a bit fragile. I emailed back and forth with the sellers, and they said, yeah, they are somewhat fragile basically, and can be damaged easily. And that's what happened here. Maybe you can, oh, I've got no cartridge in there, but you can already see that there's 6 vertical lines which stay more or less white, or they have like shadows of the sprites moving through, but it's especially clear, I think, here on the Nintendo logo, where the Nintendo logo would be if there was a cartridge in there. So and I think in this, yeah, here you can see it pretty neatly, and this is basically not repairable, they said. I was wondering, maybe you can repair it by, like in the original Game Boy display, you can heat it up and repair the connections here. So I got myself a replacement screen that we'll test before putting it properly together. And hopefully this will last a bit longer. Maybe all the opening and closing and rattling around somehow disturbed it. Or what I believe is more probable, the reason could be that this whole area needs to be twisted by 180 degrees to attach on the backside. And there might be some breakage happening here. I don't know. Maybe it's something else. So I hope this one will last longer. The question is, does this mod live up to like normal day use? So I will probably report back in a couple of months or so if that thing works out just fine. Otherwise, I would need to figure out if there is a different mod I can use. Of course, this being becoming more and more expensive. The replacement screen wasn't super expensive. And another thing that is very annoying is that the glass panel sticks up a little bit here because I didn't remove all the adhesive residue on the left side here. So I also got another screen protector, or no, not screen protector, another glass lens basically, just in case I can't attach this after removing it and removing the glue residue. So those are the two things I want to fix. Other than that, this display is super great. I played hours since the original video, managed to finish Super Mario World for the first time in my life, because as a kid I didn't have it, and the last couple of years I tried it on our other Game Boys, but always failed. And on this machine here I actually managed to play through Mario World, I think twice now. It takes me about 40 minutes or 45 minutes. So yeah, that's one achievement unlocked basically. And yeah, the whole thing with the new button pads and the new screen and the new power board is a lot of fun, I must say. I like the size and the weight of the original Game Boy. It's very excellent for adult hands, I would say. For kids, I'm not sure. Might be okay too. If I have to rank the Game Boys, I would say Game Boy Color is my favorite, especially with an IPS mod, because they look great, they have super great runtime, and they do play color games as well as the more limited graphically black and white games. Then I would say the original Game Boy, because it's just super stylish and nostalgic. And it has also, with the IPS mod, it has extremely good battery runtime, because I didn't change the batteries since the original video. They're on the last legs, but it was easily like 10 hours gameplay or something. And the least favorite of the classic Game Boys is the Game Boy Pocket, because it has the AAA batteries, only 2 of them, and the battery life is just abysmal. It looks cool. Also, we have the very nice custom Zelda car case on that. But if you want to go for a Game Boy, take the Game Boy Color or the original Game Boy. I think these are probably getting rare, but I think you can get Game Boy Colors for relatively cheap. Replace the screen with an IPS screen, and you get super great battery life and all the classic Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. So I'm gonna open up this thing, pop out this screen lens and the screen, and then we'll test the new screen before we will put it back together, and also scrape off the glue residue if possible, and perhaps replace the glass lens if this here doesn't have enough adhesive left to make good connection, basically. So let's do that. Okay, here it is taken apart, and I'm probably gonna use the other lens, as the double-sided tape here looks a bit dirty and worn off, so to speak. There's residues from the old glue here, and that shows that I really didn't do a good enough job of cleaning. So I'm gonna go ahead and scrub this with a slight abrasive, maybe a magic eraser, and try to get off all this gunk here, because I think it really needs to be really flush and smooth. I can feel with my fingernails the encrusted, basically the crusty glue residue of the old glass lens. That was like 20-30 years, oh, more than 20 years, more like 30 years old. So yeah, that's that. Let's have a look at this piece here. This is looking okay so far. I'm gonna put in the batteries so we can test it in a second. I'm gonna put the case on so we don't have any issues there. And I'm gonna take the new display, and I'll leave the screen protector on and plug it in first, so without any physical stress the whole thing can be tested. So this needs to go in here, and this is what I talked about earlier. This whole thing needs to be under the PCB, doing a 180-degree turn, and this puts a lot of stress on this flex piece. But let's turn it on. And see if it works. This blue stripe here is from the screen protector. I can see that. That's some kind of permanent marker or something. Probably from the factory saying, yeah, all is good. But I don't see any stripes, so that's looking good. So I think right now this display is fine. And it's just down to my clumsy fingers that I probably destroyed it at some point. I hope. But we'll see how long it will last. Quite the experiment. But that's it for this piece for now. I'm only gonna install it once I got the glass screen here attached, and yeah, I'll be back once this thing here is proper and clean. So we're back, and I indeed used a little bit of water and magic eraser. which made this whole thing much more smooth. You can see a few little bumps, but all in all, this is super smooth now, I would say. You can also see where I scrubbed with the magic razor, because it will make the whole thing a little bit more dull, basically. And I clean it off with some isopropyl alcohol to remove like grease or whatever that might be on here from my fingers. Just doing it again a little bit because I touched it again. So I think this should be fine. What we should do now, I think, is install the display, probably. And then we can move on to the lens after assembling everything, I would guess. I think this belongs like so. And this goes in here like this, very carefully, gently pressing it in. Not to strain it too much, because we know it's fragile. And then we can probably put it down here, because there are some grooves in there that will keep it in place. Can we actually remove the screen protector afterwards? No, not quite. But maybe I can do it if I put this little strip out there. Now, I think I have to remove the screen protector first. I was hoping I can do it afterwards, but I don't think it'll work out. Well, there it goes. Point of no return. We have to do this now as cleanly as possible. So let's see if we can do this. And of course, what I forgot, as usual, are the buttons. They have to go in first. And you can get those, of course, as well, replacement buttons, pads and everything. Especially the buttons you can get in all sorts of colors. So if you want to customize your Game Boy to your liking, you can even get new shells, obviously. I could have gone that route, but I wanted to keep this a little bit more original than the other mods that I did where I bought new shells. So this is a little bit more original. And then the remaining Game Boys that we own. So, and here comes the slightly terrible part, where I need to hold on to this flex PCB. And they say it will go in slightly at an angle, but it doesn't matter. So I'm just gonna move it in like so and hope that it'll work and there will be things sticking up, etc. But if they say it's okay, I believe them. I will also try to turn it on once. And it does, and it does not at the same time, because I don't see the black bar. Let's put in the speaker. And I'm gonna take a few screws and to make sure that I can hold the whole PCB in place. Just to be on the safe side. Maybe it's not quite in, so maybe being at an angle is okay to a certain degree, but might be that we need to push it a little bit further in. I don't think the lines on the right are making good contact. So I think maybe some other IPS mod might be better. So let's try it again. Here's sound, but I don't see anything, so I guess this needs to go in further, if possible. This is indeed very... Because you see, actually it wants to go in like that, but it needs to go in a little bit further to the right. You can get these displays also on AliExpress, but that takes always a very long time in shipping and has some other drawbacks as well. So I bought this from a German distributor where I can get it very quickly. Let's try it like so. Yes, now we got it. Now the connection is made. Looking good, I would say. There's even an afterglow of the image. I'm not sure if you can see it, but I can still see the black bar. That's quite funny. And I think I'm gonna try and put in the glass lens already. There's of course a few specks of dust as usual. I'm wondering if I have anything to pick this up with. I think I might have a cleaning kit for the iPhone screen installation here. Yeah, not screen installation, but protective glass lens. And they have a little cloth here. Should be able to pick up the dust. Yeah, I think that's better. Very gently, not to break this poor thing again. And then we need to take off the protective film on the double-sided tape. I'm gonna use this is actually feeling rather good. I'm gonna leave the film on until we're done, so not to scratch up anything. Okay, that's okay. Let's put in the remaining screws and close this thing up. Okay, here we go. Let's insert again. I've also gotten a cover for the, what is it called? External connector. Yeah, that's the link cable basically. Yeah, this is now very flush. I hope it stays that way. Let's turn it on. Looking good so far. There's sound. And perfect display. Yes, I would say this is a really nice result. Yeah, this is what it should have looked like all the time. Toning down the screen brightness here. One more thing that I figured out is there's a contrast wheel here, which is basically just a spring-loaded switch. You can push it up and down. And I'm not going to do this right now because it is actually slightly too large for the gap here. I should have taken the Dremel and removed a little bit from the... Can you see that? Probably not. Let's see if we can focus down on this here. From the lower red lip here. You need to take that off basically. But I don't use the contrast wheel anyway. You can use it to get into the screen settings of the IPS mod and so on. But I don't need that. I think this is just perfect the way it is. But if you want to do that, you need to remove this. Otherwise it doesn't move very well. And this thing, as it's SMD soldered, breaks off very easily, which happened to me. It was still attached, but the supporting legs to the left and right broke off, but I could easily solder it back. But if you're not happy with soldering, then yeah, don't touch it basically. But now I think this is even better than it ever was, and I'm gonna be very gentle to this Game Boy. Overall, I still like this IPS mod, but I'm wondering if there is a different one out there that is more durable and fits a little bit better. The advantage of this one here is you can use the old shell with the original lens if you want, because it has the exact size of this cutout. There's a different one that has a larger size, which might be nice, but you need a different shell or Dremel away a lot of stuff and use a different lens with a larger aperture basically. So that's up to you. I'm gonna leave this as is. Already gotten expensive enough, but an old DMG is not cheap these days anymore. They used to be like 20 years ago. You would basically get them for probably €5 or something, but now they've gotten rather expensive. Since I gotten this for free for repairing the other one for my friend, I think it's worthwhile to preserve it and to make it look good again, and this will definitely be used a lot here in our household for playing, obviously. So yeah, I'm happy. So take very good care when buying these IPS mods. There are a couple of caveats. They're a bit fragile, but if they're running, they look amazing, I would say. And yeah, I'm gonna play on this now until the batteries are flat, and share, like, and subscribe. Leave a comment. Maybe you have some other good IPS mods that you wanna share with us. And hope to see you in the next video. Bye!